Jimmy sees something that he knows and feels is wrong. Even to the point that he sees it and he's like, man, I need to speak up about it. But Jimmy doesn't. And the reason why he doesn't is because he's scared. He's scared that maybe he might be judged or that people will think of him in a certain way. And because of that, he doesn't. Matter of fact, Jimmy is so scared of even trying to help or correct or voice his opinion that he thinks even if he corrects or trains a dog, that a gang of dogs will come up and jump him. And then there's Enzo. Enzo is not afraid to voice his opinion. Matter of fact, anything that he sees that he doesn't agree with or stuff, he makes it clear and voices his opinion. And he's apparently always been doing this because even when Enzo was a little baby, he would demand that his bottle of milk would be exactly 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, Goo Goo Gaga had 22 degrees. Enzo, my man, I'm about to give you 4 steps, 4 crucial steps that will help you become courageous. So, don't skip. Alright, let's go to the first one. First thing is breaking free from your comfort zone. You see me stress this fact a lot, especially with past videos I've made. Now, bear with me, because a lot of people let a factor of risk or a factor of something not working out affect them from making steps or move forward. They kind of like play life on the safe zone. They live to be safe. You don't want that to be you. Because living life on the so-called safe zone can limit your ability to grow or succeed, especially in the self-improvement journey, which kind of, in a way, leads me to my next point. And that is taking decisive actions, even though you may not know the outcome or where the outcome would lead. Let's say you're about to make a big decision which could set you up for the future, or in a way, I don't even think that something like a decision like I'm talking about could set you back in any way because you still learn from it, which I have talked about in an older video. But hear me out. What I think is worse is not taking that risk and never being able to really see the outcome. And that reminds me of something I've said before. A life without risk is not a risk I'm willing to take. Either way, you're still missing out if you think about it. By not taking a risk, you're missing out on where the risk could lead, which in itself is taking a risk. And I take this in the instance of Jimmy and Enzo. Jimmy would be the type of guy to see a risk and be like, no, wait, like, even for like a business, for this example, he would see that he can make a business or whatever, and then he probably has a certain amount of money or funds, so he's like, no, I'm not going to take a risk. I'm not going to start this business. I'm not going to use my money because then I could end up broke and I could end up doing on the streets and I could end up bad, and I just don't want to do that. While Enzo, on the other hand, would look at it and he's like, although there is risk involved, I'm going to try my best to succeed in doing this business or whatnot. And if I do dedicate myself to work on this business and stuff, the worst that could happen is me learning from the experience. And I'm still going to grow regardless. And here's my next step. And it is developing resilience through adversity. Resilience could be described as your ability to bounce back, your ability to keep on pushing forward even though you may be in a more difficult or stressful situation. It's more of your drive to recover. It's kind of like, think of it as you're working out and stuff like that, and you get fit, but then after a while you stop working out and you're getting overweight. But let's say you get overweight, it's easier for you to get back into shape because you know what to do, and even though it may be stressful or whatnot, you could bounce back and get back on the right path. And that reminds me of a verse that's found in Proverbs 24 verse 10. It says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. Master the fear of confrontation. Because confrontation is something that you may have to experience, whether it's demanding respect or even voicing disagreement in something that you just disagree with in general. And another point I want to bring across with that is, even though you're voicing disagreement and stuff, you should base all of your viewpoints and stuff based on scripture. Because even in the Bible, it says in 2 Timothy 3:16, it says, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness. And even the fact of having fear of confrontation isn't right, because even in the Bible itself it says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power. And those are the 4 steps that you need to really take and put into consideration when trying to have courage. Here's a quote. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something is more important than fear. You see, if you don't have courage, you're letting fear be a factor of resistance to goals you can't actually be achieving. So I want all of you guys here to strive, to have courage, and to push forward and make it to whatever goals you have set. The success you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. See you in the next one.